Hello and welcome back. Hopefully my camera doesn't fall over. My name is Kabira and this is my YouTube channel, Kabira Speaks. Ah! Okay. So I have some news. I'll just hold it while the wind's have some news for you. I got demoted at work. So that's somewhat embarrassing and disappointing and sad, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. Just get that straight. Okay. So, for the past like 8 months, oh, this is terrible. Stay. I'm not even holding it. I'm just, okay. For the past like 8 months, I've been a behavioral consultant, or a BC. So, what that is, a behavioral consultant, oversees the treatment of children who have behavioral issues that affect their life at home and school or school. So I wrote treatment plans and coordinated services between the school, the agency, and the parents. I took data on the child's behaviors and created interventions to help them be more successful at school and at home. That's the job. Another part of that job is doing mobile therapy. So different agencies do it different ways. I used to be a mobile therapist before the pandemic began. I don't know if you've seen my videos before, you've heard me talk about this. I need to get a new tripod. This thing is really irritating me. If you've seen my videos and you've heard me talk about this before, because it's like kind of a big plot point in the life of Kabira. So pre-pandemic, I was a mobile therapist, and I ended up getting like really overwhelmed doing that kind of work, and I quit somewhat abruptly. I say abruptly, it was like a 1.5 week notice. I said I had an emergency and I just dipped, and I didn't really like close out with my clients, and I feel that haunts me to this very day. I'm sure the agency closed out with them appropriately, because I did give them that notice, but like I didn't take the time to do it myself, because my mental health at that point was just tanking. So I had quit being a mobile therapist, became a server, pandemic, life is in shambles, broke, ended up getting this job as a behavioral consultant, which a behavioral consultant is above a mobile therapist. So the company that I have been working with for 8 months, it has you do BC work and MT work at the same time. I feel like I'm not explaining this well. It's somewhat complicated, and you really don't even need to know all this stuff, really. I'm just trying to get you to understand. I lost my train of thought. So yeah, the company that I've been working with for the past 8 months had me doing both roles, BC and MT at the same time. The company where I had quit pre-pandemic, I was doing MT work with the knowledge that I would eventually be doing BC. So different agencies do it different ways. However, a behavioral consultant has like all the responsibility. You are the lead of the case. The mobile therapist just follows the treatment plan, basically. You go to the kid's house or the school or whatever. You meet with them for an hour or two or whatever is prescribed, and that's it. Behavioral consultant job, you have a lot of things to like oversee and manage. And when I first got this job, I was so happy and grateful because I didn't know when I would be like back into my field again. I had looked for so many jobs throughout the pandemic, and you know, I had a really hard time finding anything. Hey, there we go. I had a really hard time finding anything. So when I did get this job, I was over the moon. And at that point, this was last summer, at that point I was in therapy with the Abuse and Rape Crisis Center, because I had just like reopened the trauma of the person who like assaulted me. So I had gotten therapy through that at the same exact time that I was getting this job. And I remember saying to my therapist at the time, I hope I don't screw things up. I hope I don't mess things up. I hope I can do this. Knowing that I had quit being a mobile therapist before. So I already was apprehensive, but I had to take the opportunity because being back in my field was good. Plus, the salary was $30 an hour for a behavioral consultant, which would be more than I had ever made before. So took the job, had the better salary. I stayed working I kept my other job at the crisis rehab. At that job I make 16 hourly, a little bit more than 16 hourly. So, and it's not a bachelor's level job even. I have a master's degree. It's not even a bachelor's level job. I'm not saying it is like, I'm not saying it's below me. Nothing is below me, but it wasn't the level of like that my education is, if that makes sense. But I kept that job kind of as like a plan B, because, you know, being jobless for so long was really terrible, and I don't wish that on anybody. Anyway, so I did my best as a behavioral consultant. I really did. And I just started like letting things slip and slide, and I was having a hard time keeping it all together. Not so much the work with the kids, because that is something that I really do enjoy, and I think I am good at it. But when it came to other things like turning things in on time, that's where I was not doing so well. So I would turn things in like right at the deadline, and this past thing that I turned in right at the deadline, it kind of like blew up on me because someone else needed to do something for me, and they didn't do it for a couple days, which was my fault because I didn't give it to them with like plenty of time. I gave it to them with like this much time, and so this thing that I had to turn in was like overdue, and it just was really crappy. So HR, when I say this is a small company, this is a small company. There's 2 people in HR. There's 1 psychiatrist. There are like 9 behavioral consultants, myself included, and that's it. So it's a very small, intimate company, and I honestly like do respect and admire the people who work there a lot. But anyway, so all this deadline shit was going down. I'm going to my sessions, I'm building those relationships, I'm working with my kids, but I'm letting a lot of the admin stuff slide. So they called a meeting with me, and we talked about it, and I was just honest. I was like, listen, I really do like this company a lot, and I enjoy the work I do, but I have been struggling to get those things done. There's just a lot of things to organize, and I don't have those skills. I didn't go into all of this, but you know, I have a major avoidance problem. I can, but I don't ask for help. I procrastinate, I put things off, just a bunch of stuff that I need to figure out how to deal with. That was kind of preventing me from doing the admin work in this type of role well. So, I admitted, like, yeah, you know, I've been messing up on that sort of thing, on the deadline stuff. I have these personal things that I'm going through right now. I strongly suspect that I have ADHD. It is getting harder and harder for me to like function and keep it together. And I started crying naturally, because I cry a lot, and they were just really, really nice to me about it. The 2 people in HR, which again is the only people in HR, they're like, we've heard nothing but good things about you as a clinician. We have to take this very seriously. Deadline stuff, you know, that's really important, because all the kids who get services through that agency get them for free, because it is medically necessary that they have the behavioral health services. However, it's paid through this insurance company, and the insurance company is like super by the book, of course. So you got to have your I's dotted and your T's T'd. And I understood that. So they're keeping me on as a mobile therapist, and that's fine with me. And keep in mind, the mobile therapist is the job pre-pandemic that I couldn't do before. Now I got it. I got it down. I'm confident in it. I'm good at it. I understand the role. all that jazz. I just don't think I was quite ready to be a behavioral consultant yet. So they're keeping me on as an MT. And another cool thing is mobile therapists make $30 an hour also. BC makes $30 an hour, mobile therapist makes $30 an hour. So my hourly salary didn't go down. Here's the thing. Behavioral consultants who have their license through this company at least make 42 and up. So I was and everyone else in the company has their license except for me because I was so new. Another thing is the most recent addition to the staff has worked there for 5 years. So I was like definitely the new girl into this company, and they understand that, and they understand that I started like during pandemic, so I didn't get like a lot of office time. My training was kind of like here and there. They said that they made some mistakes in my training. I really think I take really like 95% of responsibility for the things that went wrong in my role there. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened. Now I'm just a mobile therapist, not a behavioral consultant. My stress levels are way down, way down. I do work full-time at the crisis rehab now, and the one that pays $16 an hour. I've worked there for a year now, and I love that job. I really do. It's easy, but probably not easy for everyone. You know what? You know that it's easy for me because I'm good at it, and I care a lot, and it's a joy to be there, excuse me. But that doesn't mean everybody could do it. I just wish they paid more, honestly. That's the only thing. I feel like I bring a lot to the table, and I could bring a lot to the table. Like I have a lot of ideas on how I could turn that program around. And maybe I will pitch that eventually. I don't know. And honestly, like behavioral health wasn't ever really like my dream. It's just I was a one-on-one while I was in grad school, and then the natural progression from there is mobile therapy or behavioral consulting work. So it's what I have the most experience in, but it's not necessarily what I want to do long-term with my life. What I really want to do is work at a university in student support, something like that, with like young adults. That's my bread and butter, so to speak. But anyway, the reason I wanted to share this embarrassing little fact with you guys is because well, I'm trying to be like just very transparent in when I make these videos. So yeah, I'm just being honest. Like this did happen, and it is a setback, but also it is not the end of the world, and I'm not seeing it like it is. I'm not even like really disappointed in myself or mad at myself. When they told me this, I was, sad and disappointed at first, but also relieved, just like immensely relieved, because that job was too much for me. And maybe once I'm like in a better space mentally, I will be better at it, or maybe I'll find another job. I don't know. It just, it wasn't the best place for me to be in, and I feel like now I'm in a good spot. I do have to be a little concerned about like money, because now I'm in an apartment by myself. Woohoo, that's great. But my rent went up, and salary went down, so that's what we call a sticky wicket, My car's now all set up so I can drive Uber again, but also gas is so expensive. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out though. But basically, now I have a full-time, low-stress job and doing MT on the side, which, that pays well. I just gotta kind of build up a caseload of MT kids, because I lost all my BC kids I had. That was sad. That was really sad. I'm gonna miss them a lot. Yeah. I guess another reason I wanted to share this is because, I was always straight A and B student. Good grades, good test taker, good on paper, don't like to disappoint people, don't like to let people down, try hard, brain, all that, whatever you want, nerd, whatever you want to call it. That was always me. That is me. And this is something that I kind of failed at. So, and I think it's probably other than quitting the other time, like this is like one of the first and only times this has ever happened to me. So, and that other job when I was a mobile therapist, I only did that for like less than 6 months. So I stuck it out here longer than with the other company, which means I'm moving forward and all that stuff. So I think I'm gonna take the time over the summer to work on myself, my mental health. I really would like to get a therapist. I really need a therapist. My life, I just have so much shit to deal with like all the time. I just had to block my parents on everything, so I'm dealing with that. Plus the trial against my rapist has now been moved to August. It's been years in the making now, and they just keep putting it off, and it's always in the back of my mind. Plus detaching from the person I was codependent with and moving out on my own. Plus I would like someone to take me seriously and assess me for ADHD. And I don't think that's too much to ask. So I just got to figure out the right people to get in touch with. But yeah, sometimes people get demoted. You get the shaft, you get canned, you get the boot. And it's okay. Sun is still shining. Literally, it's a beautiful day. It's the first day of spring. I feel like rejuvenated. Look at me, I'm glowing. And things are gonna be okay. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.